The last 6 months or so been like for you? Has it just been pure dad life, or focusing on training? What's it been like?
It's both. Don't have a choice. This is what I do, and with him being here, he's my motivation. It's pretty awesome to get to be a dad of the future, my baby boy, and it's been a pretty cool ride.
Yeah. So you brought the family with you?
No.
No.
No, mom and Odin are home. That's just how it is here right now.
It's not even a choice, right?
Yeah, and there's no. I don't think they could even watch the fight live, and the world is still in a little bit of turmoil with travel and all that. So it's just better to keep them home and safe.
Has that made fight week difficult, or is it nice to kind of get away and maybe have singular focus? What's this week been like for you so far?
The UFC gave us a pad where we get to kind of take care of ourselves with the food, and we've got like a small kitchen, and that really helps out a lot. And they've lightened up a little bit. You can leave your hotel room, but I don't know. I just stay focused and just kind of do my thing, and it's fine. These few days here to the fight are pretty boring.
Sometimes that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, because when I was younger, it wasn't that way. Like when I fought in Hawaii, and so before the UFC, I would go out and like sightsee, almost treat it like a vacation, and it takes away your focus.
Now it's more like a business trip for
It's
you?
a business trip now. I've learned that over the years the hard way.
Do you enjoy it though? Is it fun? I mean, like you said, this is what I do, but is it fun or not?
I had my first fight at 17 years old in 1999. And it's just funny telling the story again in some of the other interviews. My first 3 nights of fighting, I fought 6 times. I fought 3 tournaments, and I won them all, and it kind of kicked off this career. And even now, I look at myself at 40 years old. I'm in better shape right now, I think, just looking at a photo and just how I'm performing than I was when I was 30. Now, there's good and bad of that. It's like, why didn't I do these things when I was 30? Because I would have been way farther ahead. But at least I learned, and my body's staying together where I have the ability to even get this way. And the passion is always there. I mean, I think in my blood, I'm a fighter. It's just the way it is. I'm one of the real ones. And I think, if I was born in a different time, I was, one of the gladiators in the Coliseum killing people. And people always talk about, they always say I look like a Viking. Maybe I was.
So where do you feel like you're at in your career? I mean, like you said, you're in better shape now than you were at 30. I mean, have you started to put an expiration date on things, and when, or is it just keep doing it until your body lets you?
I don't think people can help when they ask, because, at that age it is. There's some guys that are already retired younger than me, and then there's guys at 42 years old just do the most amazing things. It's MMA. You just don't know. Honestly, it's in God's hands. My drive and fire are very much there, because there's a lot that I want to still do and prove. Certainly prove that, again, remind everybody that I am one of the best heavyweights on the planet. But I have to win all my fights from here on till I just, when the time is done. I don't know how long that is. I'm not Andre Arlovsky. I'm not totally Benjamin Button, but I do get told that I'm looking good for 40. So, I mean, at least that's something. I've learned a lot. I do have a really, really great setup with my coaches and my training partner. I have one of the best training partners I ever had in my whole career. It's like, God, where was he 10 years ago too? Again, everything happens for a reason. It's just the way it is, and I'm just trying to make the most of it. And that's just it. Like I said, I have the drive, and we're just going to ride it for as long as we can, and then when it's over, I'll use my mind and make money that way, I guess.
I like it. Do you feel disrespected sometimes, that maybe you don't get the people don't recognize you as one of the top heavyweights, the people don't recognize you as a pioneer that's been there from the beginning?
There's a bad set of circumstances that went down basically in 2016 to 2019. It was one of the worst times of my life. I had a bad set of things that went down, and it was like shooting yourself in the foot. I went from being ranked 4th in the world to now I'm not in the rankings anymore. And when I came back, I had a couple losses that were really questionable, and I needed to get finishes, and everything just was a setback. It was just a bunch of setbacks, and I'm here now, though, right? I'm here now. I just come off of a finish. I'm getting, I'm winning with some finishes again, with knockouts, another submission. And that's what I really care to do. I go out and finish my fight in the most exciting way possible.
Yeah. Marcos Rogero de Lima, when they gave you that name, were you familiar with him? I mean, do you keep tabs on everybody in the division?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I mean, he's been around, so he's definitely somebody we've crossed paths. I've met him before, and he was here with Lynn when I was supposed to fight in May. They were on the same fight card, and so it's just funny. Here we are now. We're fighting each other.
Yeah. What do you think about him? I mean, at this point, you've seen everything in your career. I mean, is there anything that he does particularly like, oh, that's pretty impressive, or that's something I haven't seen?
I mean, you watch him, it's pretty obvious he throws hard, low kicks. He likes to kick. And he's really been working his wrestling, it seems like. Like he's trying to, because he prominently was a kickboxer. Now he's won some of his fights with just kind of grounding on guys, laying on guys, doing takedowns that way. So, I think he comes from, one of the best camps in the world, American Top Team, so that's a big thing. He's got that, and he's known to be taken lightly, and, I didn't. I trained extremely hard for this, and I'm ready to perform.
You talked about finishes. I mean, and I think you're right. People get rewarded for finishes. So do you have to go in there like hunting the finish, or is it just a matter of if you execute, the finish will present itself?
I mean, you just said it. The way I fight, my fighting style, I can't help but be the way I am. And it causes chaos, and it causes people to make mistakes. And when they do, I capitalize. And that's how I do it. And the fans seem to like it, so I'll keep doing it.
I dig it. Last thing for me, talk about the plan at this point. Like you said, I mean, you got the family at home. You're in better shape than you've ever been. You're feeling good. So a victory here, what's the next move? Are you trying to fight more frequently next year? Are you trying to fight ranked opponents? Are there names you want? What's the plan?
That question goes on in my head all the time, and it always resorts. All my wisdom has taught me this: do this fight, win this fight, and then all those questions will get answered. So that's what we got to focus on right now. He's a challenge. He's not to be taken lightly, and my mind is set to take care of him on Saturday.
Ben, thanks for joining us. I always feel like I got to get the update on the gym. How's Rothwell MMA doing, and is things back open a lot better up there in Wisconsin right now?
Oh, yeah. We had a tremendous summer. It was amazing because summertime for martial art gyms, typically it's like a downtime, and our gym was the busiest it's probably been since I've ever opened. It was crazy. And then things kind of slowed down a little bit. I mean, it's still good. It's way better than it was last year. I don't know if just like school starting and stuff like that. And in Wisconsin, the weather is kind of all over the place, and our winters are usually typically pretty brutal. And we had just a really amazing fall. All September and October, it was beautiful weather, and I think people are really enjoying it. So there's that going on. And even with all that going on, still the gym is kicking and doing its thing, and I'm always proud of it.
Well, I was going to say, I think a lot of fighters, they always think about opening up something after. You're doing it while you're still in the prime of your career. Is it a nice distraction to have the focus on that, or is there parts where you're like, man, I wish I didn't have to worry about the business. I wish I could just only think about fighting.
If I didn't have the amazing team and I had to do a lot of stuff on my own, yeah, it would be insane. It wouldn't even work. I would probably have to close it. But my wife, she's like the front of the house manager, and over the 10 years I've owned it, I've created this group of coaches that have absolutely done an outstanding job. I leave for a week right now, and they just run the whole gym. And honestly, they've been running it for the last few weeks by themselves, and they do an awesome job, and still get people signed up when I'm gone. And it's kind of funny. It's not like it's got my name on it, but people come there for the martial arts. It's not, oh, Ben Rothwell, like they don't care about me. So I'm okay with that.
And then kind of a silly question. When you talk about Wisconsin, you talk about the weather. I have family up there, so I love that area. When it comes to state fairs, where does Wisconsin State Fair, where does the Kenosha County Fair rank in the fairs, and what is your go-to fair food?
I haven't gone to the Kenosha County Fair in probably over a decade, maybe longer. When I was a kid, I used to go, and it's about as buck country as you can imagine, right up there with Milwaukee State Fair, and they're famous for their cream puffs and making people fat, and that's pretty much it. I think people just go to eat food and look at animals, but it's been a while.
You don't have a favorite fair food when you did go, or
I think I said it. It's like known for the
cream
cream
puffs?
puffs. Even though some people are like, they don't taste like anything. I'm like, I don't know.
I dig it. Thanks, Ben.
Hey, Ben, you mentioned that you're one of the real fighters. Could you elaborate on that?
I don't mean a real fighter, like how to quite describe what I mean. I just mean I come from a time where I had to fight multiple times as an amateur and a pro, in one night. And I don't know if any of these fighters today know what it would be like to have to fight 3 times in one night. A lot of the tournaments is you fight and then 3 months later you fight again, but I was fighting the same night and it was ridiculous. In fact, I fought in my pro record, I have a loss against me because I fought Friday night and then I had to fight 3 times on Saturday night and I lost, and it was only two 5-minute rounds, and the guy beat me of the decision with 2 5-minute rounds, and I nailed him with a knee in the last 10 seconds, which he even told me after the fight. He's like, I was completely done. So I'm like, I would have won the 3rd round. He's like, oh, yeah, dude, I'm done. His head was like a spider web. So, yeah, that's some of the things I've went through in my career, and that loss is on my record. And it's like, so I just don't even care about a lot of stuff. But those are just times that I look back, it's like, man, I get done with a fight now, and I'm like, do you imagine having a fight again in 20, 30 minutes? Like, nope. So it's kind of cool, I guess, to look back at my experience and some of the things I went through and, why I do this. I guess it's a personal thing. I don't want to judge. I'm not judging people. It's just things they say. They say things. Oh, I'm fighting for fame. I'm fighting for money. And I fight to smash somebody. I have, this guy agreed to fight me, so it's all respect. We're both human beings, but he thinks he's better than me, and he's trying to hurt me. And I take a certain type of pleasure in inflicting it back onto him. It's just something about it. It's deep and bedded in. A time ago I was a Viking, so burying a battle axe into somebody's forehead.
So you miss kind of those tough guy days of the earlier UFCs.
It's all good. The sport has evolved to what it needs to be now. It's becoming a sport, and having all the regulations, and this is what we needed to get to get the spotlight, to get to the notoriety, and to get people watching like it is now. I don't think back in my day it was considered more of a freak show, so that wasn't good. That wasn't going to grow the sport like it is. But for the people that competed in it, like myself, I do hold a special type of respect for that. Like, yeah, I went through that stuff. Like, I did it for like nothing. Like, I wasn't getting paid anything, and I was fighting two times a night. So I think it says something about me. Like, I really enjoy this.
You've been in the sport for so long. Who are some of your inspirations, whether it was fighters or not?
No, Glover Teixeira right now. I could have told you that 2 years ago, just watching him, and now it's just like over the top. Like, what an amazing achievement, and to do so good at it. So he's definitely somebody that's up there. A lot of the champions, man, just a lot of inspiration from all these guys, Habib and GSP, and just looking back at some of the things these guys have done in the sport and how awesome they are. So.
Well, we'll let you go sharpen your battle axe, and we can't wait till Saturday night.
I'll take it to the grindstone. Thanks.